Hello, Rebecca here, filming for Lottie Loves Paper for the National Scrapbook Day Sketch Challenge event for 2021. And this video forms part of a video hop with prizes. So one will be chosen at random from all of those that visit and comment on all of the videos that take part in the hop. And one will be chosen at random for all the people that take part in the sketch challenge layout in the Lottie Loves Paper Facebook group. So it's well worth taking part, definitely worth your while if you like this challenge. So I enjoyed this challenge. I do actually struggle with grid layouts for some reason. I don't know why. I've always found them a bit tricky. But my plan for this one was to make 6 3x4 vellum envelopes and pack the little envelopes with all the lovely journaling cards and ephemera and bits and pieces that come in the collection. But for the life of me, I could not work out how to make a 3x4 open end envelope where it opens at the narrow edge rather than at the wide edge. So after an hour of trying to do that, I decided to make 4x4 square envelopes using my envelope punch board. But obviously, because 2 4x4 envelopes takes up 8 inches and I'd still wanted some empty space on my layout, I decided to make it a 2x2 grid rather than a 2x3. So I've only got 4 little areas in my grid rather than 6 that's in the sketch. But, you know, sketches are there for interpretation and you don't have to take them literally. So I pretty much try to follow the rest of the sketch when I can. So I've made my little envelopes. I've put a tiny little dot of glue at the point where all the sort of points meet. And I've left those to dry. I just disguise where the glue is on the final layout. So I've adhered those down to my page. That is one of the pattern papers that comes in the collection, that background paper. Just with some tape, I've adhered those down. Now, to be honest, you couldn't really see the tape through the vellum, but what I kind of worried that once you'd sort of use the page in the interactive way that it was intended and you took the sort of journaling cards out and explored what was in the little envelopes, that you'd see the tape at the back. So I decided to make a background almost for the envelopes and stick some of that lovely gingham checkered paper inside the envelopes so that even when all of the things are taken out of the envelopes, they still have a sort of pretty little background paper there. So those are just getting stuck in with some tape into each of those 4 envelopes. So that gingham paper doesn't come out. So I'm using this photo of my son on Easter Sunday. He has his little bunny ears on. He's laughing in that picture. He's got to an age now where he doesn't want to smile for photos for mummy anymore. So I had to have my husband standing behind me making faces to get him to smile and to get him to laugh. And he didn't really want to laugh, so he's covering his little smile with his hands, and it just looks so cute with those bunny ears on. I just love that photo. But obviously he's wearing a dark jumper and he's sitting against a dark sort of ivy background. So where there's quite a lot of dark colours, I wanted to balance out that darkness elsewhere on the page. So that journaling card there that says "Bloom, baby, bloom" has some of that similar navy colour to his jumper. So I want to use that in the top right envelope to balance out that darkness, to make the layout look a bit more balanced. So I'm distressing the edges of those journaling cards that I've cut apart from cut apart sheet, and I'm packing my envelopes. I want sort of a variation in colour. Some of them I want to have, a picture at the top, and some I just want to be sort of relatively plain. I knew that I wanted the envelope where his photo will be stuck to be open, and I wanted the top right envelope to be open. But the other two, whilst they're closed, they can be opened. And I've worked out a way to sort of keep them closed but enable them to still be opened. So I've used the foam stickers that come in the collection to form my title, and I've kept that still, the title still is down on the right hand corner, the same as it is in the sketch. I still wanted to sort of follow the sketch as much as I could, whilst still having only a 4 square, a 2x4 rather than a 2x3 grid. So I've just used the words Happy Easter, and I've put the word happy up on some foam so that the tab of the envelope can tuck behind the word happy and close, but it's still able to be opened quite easily. So I'm adding some of those beautiful florals in. They come in the ephemera pack, which is the bits and pieces pack. Some just gorgeous little images and pieces in there. It's just such a lovely collection. It is Easter themed, but there's plenty in there that's for spring or just for love or garden, for sort of spring in the garden. It'd be great for gardeners as well. There's some wellies and some rakes and some watering cans and things like that. So really, it's just such a cute collection. I love it. I've never really been one for an Easter collection before, so this is quite new to me. I love it. Love the little bunnies as well. So I'm packing the envelopes with now I've used the journaling bits. That's the pack of journaling bits. They have shapes that are just different from square. So there's some circular pieces and some sort of decorative edged pieces and some like tab pieces and sort of banner shapes. There's a little tag with a bunny. So cute. So yeah, the journaling bits are lots of lovely different shapes as well, not just square. So I have decided to adhere my photo on the outside of the envelope, so it will always be on the outside. And I'm propped up the very left-hand edge of the photograph with a little bit of foam, because where I'd packed my envelope with quite a little bit of stuff, it was sort of not sitting quite straight on the page. It was sort of toppling off the envelope a little bit. So it just needed to be propped up on that left-hand edge and adhere down with some tape onto the vellum. So that's stuck in place now. So I've added a little bit of just embroidery thread to one of the tags from the journaling bits. And I'm just going around now embellishing the page. Love those florals. That is just so cute. Love them. I had a bit of difficulty trying to find where to put that leaf. It does get tucked in on the left-hand side there. So there's lots of lovely little birds in the collection as well. And I've used quite a selection of the embellishments. I am an embellishment person. I feel like I can really get the flavour of a collection if I have like 2 pieces of paper and loads of embellishments. I just love embellishments. So I've used the puffy stickers as well as the foam stickers, the chipboard stickers, the decorative brads, the journaling bits and the ephemera pack for this layout. So I've filled out my journaling onto one of the journaling cards and I've tucked that in there. So that is still true to the sketch where the journaling is up on the top left, but it is just tucked inside my envelope there. So it's not immediately visible on the layout, but if you use it in the interactive way that I'd intended, you can still access the journaling. It just says the date and the story behind the photo. So I was loving that little umbrella because it's actually been quite a cold and rainy spring here this year. I don't recall it raining on Easter Sunday. It might have, but it just the rainbow, the umbrella suited for the fact that it's not been the best spring. So again, I have propped up the edges. What am I doing there? Oh no, I'm putting my little bunny on. So there's the Easter bunny delivering the eggs. I love this collection. It's so cute. So I decided to add just a couple of little bits and pieces in those clusters. Yeah, I'm taking the sort of sticky off of that foam banner because that is going to be stuck there. So I still want to be able to get my envelope out from underneath. And just so I've propped the sort of the very left hand edge and the very right hand edge of that strip on some foam. Remove the sticky from the middle part, just so that the envelope can be opened and closed on the top left there. So I'm making a little scene for my bunny there using some of the puffy stickers, which are perfectly in proportion actually for the rest of the ephemera in that little bit there. So I love this idea of the things bursting out, and so you can sort of take the page out of the page protector and investigate what's in each of the little envelopes. I liked that idea. So those little strips there are a nod to the sketch, because on the sketch there's it's indicated to put some journaling on that top left square. So I've added those little embellishments on there as a nod to the sketch. So I'm using those decorative brads just to add into the clusters. I really enjoy those Simple Story brads. They're the sort of sticky brads rather than the pin brads. I'm not a fan of having to poke a hole in my pages. I much prefer a sticky brad. So there's always room for a heart on a page, isn't there? Those are from the foam stickers, those little hearts. So where I mentioned about I wanted to balance out the darker colours from the photograph, I felt like that top area needed some dark. And I knew that the back of this pattern paper had a dark sort of ditzy floral print on the back. So I thought, okay, I'll get a little hint of that coming through by distressing and just rolling back that edge. I didn't want a lot of darkness because I still want to keep it really bright and sort of springy colours. So that's the back of the page. I didn't want a lot of it to come through, just a little hint. So now there's more of a sort of triangle of dark colours in the photo, the journaling card and that little rolled back strip. So what I'm doing there is I'm packing that top right envelope with some little pretty bits. So I've decided to use the Sweet Pea Crystal collection from Little Things by Lucy's Cards. And I also take out some of the Starlight Sequin mix, which is also from Little Things from Lucy's Cards. The Sweet Pea Crystal collection are just the perfect colours for this collection. Just the lovely sort of springy colours, oranges, pale yellow, pale baby blue. And the Starlight sequins are really quite chunky sequins, nice and glitzy, just to add that little prettiness in. So I wanted some of the sequins to be glued down on the outside of the layout, and I wanted to pack some of the envelopes with pretty bits so that when you go through the envelopes, they'll sort of pop out like confetti, I suppose. So I add some just loose, almost like a little shaker envelope, to that top right and top left. So that's pretty much my layout. So I'll add some close-ups now, and thanks for watching.